I'm going to walk you through on how to investigate cold cases using CrimeOwl. If you're a new user, what you're going to want to do is go to My Cases. Once you go to My Cases, you will see a dashboard that looks like this. You click on Create a Case or Create Your First Case. Once you have a bunch of cases in the back end, then it'll look something like this. But since you don't have that yet, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to upload files. So you go to create a case and you pick what case it is: cold case, missing person, homicide. Add a description here. You can put whatever you want. Put the date of it, when it happened. This happened way back when. I'm not going to, pick whatever date it is. And let's just go back. Let's just say it's 2020 and it's set. And then add a description. I'm just going to put test case here for the sake of time and speed. And then you go to create case. So once the case is created, it'll go in your dashboard. And then you're going to want to go over to assets. And you click on assets right over here. And all you're going to want to do is take the files and you drag and drop the files. And it says you have enough credits, and then you start uploading here and it'll start uploading the files, right? And depending on what you have in the files, if it's audio, video, images, PDFs and stuff, that is what determines what, how long it's going to take. But you can see it's already uploading. It uploads very quickly. The difference is in the processing. So you can kind of step away and it'll start processing the files. And it shows right over here that it's uploading 120 of 270. You can go back and check on it if you want. But yeah, that's uploading. It'll take some time, but I'm going to show you kind of how it looks on the back end to get started. So this is Shelton Sanders. We can go back to that other case when it's done. But this is what the back end of a case looks like, right? So it automatically creates the timeline. You have a relations map that takes a little bit of time to load up, but this basically will look at all the suspects in the case files and the victim and anyone adjacent to those people, and it'll start making connections. You have the AI chat as well. So you can click this. These are preset, and then you can also use the chat to investigate it yourself. But I'm going to go through these one by one so you can kind of see what it does. So here's the victim right over here. And you can click details as well. And it'll tell you a quick analysis. And as an investigator, you can kind of start here to start kind of getting an idea of what is going on in this case before you actually hit the AI chat. Once you start hitting the AI chat, you can, really ask it all sorts of different things, but this will give you a really good idea. So this pulls exactly the context from the documents. I know people are worried about AI hallucinations, but if you are concerned about that, you can spot check it with the actual documents in the case files directly. And it shows related dates as well. So you can go to view the date. This was 24 years ago. It gives an analysis of the date, why the date is important, and the people involved, the key connections, investigation recommendations as well. So let's go back to the relations map, and then you click on Mark Richardson. He is the suspect as well. And it tells you why he's the suspect, key findings, connections, all that stuff. So locations, last known location where Shelton Sanders was seen. You can click on the location. It does a deeper AI analysis for you as well. And it tells you the priority, last known location, all that stuff, key findings, and surveillance footage from nearby establishments or traffic areas, evidence potential, connections found, all that stuff over there. So go back to the case again and let's go to the AI chat. So, what specific evidence linked Mark Richardson? Sheldon Sanders was last seen with Mark Richardson on the night that he disappeared. They were together at a local hotel. A neighbor reported hearing gunshots from the directions of Mark's home shortly before midnight on the night Shelton disappeared. Cell phone records show that shortly after midnight, Mark Richardson traveled to Greenbrier apartment complex where Shelton abandoned car. Investigators stated that the vehicle that Shelton was last seen in was actually found right next to where we were able to triangulate Mark Richardson's cell phone records. Interesting. He asked hypothetical questions about accidental deaths or how to dispose of a body, which investigators found suspicious. Again, if you're worried about AI hallucinations, you can click the assets. It has all the assets it pulls up from here. You can hit think mode. It's more advanced. Give me the 5 most likely scenarios, so it thinks more deeply about what's going on. So the way you want to treat this is like the best junior investigator in the world. And ultimately, as an investigator or detective, law enforcement, whoever you are, you still have to solve the case. This is an assistant to help you sort through the files faster and make connections faster. I would suspect it eliminates about 70 to 80% of the grunt work. It gives you a central location to dump all the files so you can continuously go back into the case files and you don't have to start from, you don't have to start cold, right? It's all here and you can get familiar with it right away. So, homicide by Mark Richardson, number one most likely, accidental death, Shelton leaving voluntarily, kidnapping. So, I get asked this a lot. What if it's biased? What if it's giving you the wrong information? It's the only information it's giving you is from the case files. It doesn't pull anything from the internet whatsoever. It's just only, I mean, the greater internet. It doesn't pull it off social media. Whatever case files you feed it, that is so it does not dilute the files. Okay. But ultimately, as an investigator, it's up to you to sort through the evidence and the information and come up with your own theories. So you can come up with a base theory and then challenge it. What are 5 counter arguments to it not being Mark Richardson? So you can ask it stuff like that. And so again, you can test your own bias. You can test whether the AI is taking you into one direction and you want to get out of that mindset and see if there's other angles, lack of direct evidence, inconsistent witness statements, and reasonable explanation for Richardson's actions, potential for third-party involvement. So I think that's probably a good start. You can kind of switch the persona as well. So you can approach it from just the general AI, police officer, lawyer, private investigator. So I think you can kind of see the potential. If this case was thousands and thousands of files, then I think you can kind of see how it can be effective to parse through them and start working the case from a different angle. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick video. If you have any questions, let me know. But I think this is a good starting point. Thank you.